And thanks for joining us for Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Giovanna Dierpick. We resume our conversation about President Trump's travel ban, executive order, by talking to J.D. McCrary. He's the executive director of the International Rescue Committee in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, so J.D., very busy, I'm sure. What have you been hearing from clients?
Clients are very concerned about their families. They're very concerned about whether they will see their families again in the short term or in the long term. And there's a lot of unknowns right now, and that's leading to further anxiety.
Talk to us about reuniting with families, what that process has been like, communications, etc. Who's involved?
The program has always been set up so that families can be reunited through a variety of ways, and the process has worked quite well over the years. But now with this disruption, this temporary ban, there are families that were scheduled to be rejoined with one another that are now not going to be seeing one another, and then there are all of those waiting to be processed to arrive as well that would have taken several months. But we had families who were scheduled to arrive to join family who have now been separated, and they're unsure if or when they will ever see them again.
What do you tell people who say these are uncertain times with ISIS and so forth and so many terror attacks around the world that we just have to be extra careful?
Well, refugees are the most vetted entrant into the United States of any type of immigrant class. They have been through multiple databases, multiple biometric testing, multiple interviews, and everything has to line up before they are invited to join us here in the United States. The system has worked very, very well over the past 30 years.
Some people have given some examples of some refugees who came to the country and who were later arrested for activities that, while they didn't carry out any terrorist attacks, that they were charged with conspiracy, etc., those sorts of things. What do you tell people who say, well, maybe the vetting process takes care of them now, but we don't know what's going to happen in the future if they're radicalized here?
That's a great question, but how can we answer that about anybody? Many of those who have been radicalized were born here. Many of those who have created unfortunate situations of terror in this United States are Americans who have go back many generations. It's impossible to vet all of us who may wish us ill, and it's just unfortunate that we are blaming the very victims. We are making victims of those who are fleeing this type of persecution.
What about folks who say that we have so many problems in this country already that we need to concentrate on our people here and try to fix things here before we start accepting other people in?
Well, this is not who we are as a nation. As I said yesterday in a statement, yesterday the full effect of the ban on refugees went into effect, and it was the darkest day since June 1939, since we turned back the transatlantic liner, the St. Louis, with 900 people on it, to go back and face the horrors of the Holocaust. We are a welcoming country. This is who we are as a nation.
What are you telling clients?
We are telling clients several things. That we are working as hard as we can to do it. We are making sure that our clients are adjusting their status to make sure that they are in complete alignment with the necessities of the new administration, and we are counseling them that we are doing the best we can to make sure that we are creating a situation where they can be reunited with their families.
Now, the CEO of your organization went on CNBC and said that terror groups are going to use this travel ban as a recruitment tool. Explain to people how that would actually work.
That is very likely. It proves the narrative that the United States may be unwelcoming to Muslims and to other immigrants. And so those who might be radicalized now have a reason to go back into the field and join forces against the United States.
But some may argue that they were going to do that anyway. Their distaste or hatred of the U.S. was there long before.
I would say this very much exacerbates that and very much changes the narrative, where a month ago we were a very welcoming society, and now we are an exclusionary society.
If you had the president's ear, what would you tell him to strengthen our vetting process while at the same time welcoming refugees who have been vetted properly?
I would say the refugee resettlement vetting process has worked very, very well, almost without exception, over the past 30 years. and that the immediate effect of the executive order that was signed last Friday at 4:30 had the immediate effect of ripping families apart. We had a Somali widow, 57-year-old widow, and her 31-year-old wheelchair-bound niece that were scheduled to arrive on Tuesday, and they were canceled en route. There is no way that you would be able to consider these two women a threat to the United States or a threat to our way of life. We are a welcoming country, and slamming the door on refugees is not who we are as a nation.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Republican strategist Julianne Thompson joins us when Public Affairs on Peach returns. Stay with us.